Good evening, my name is Hristo Skacev and I'm one of the authors of the project on the development of the automatic weed detection tool that is part of the Agro platform. So, agriculture. Why is agriculture important? Agriculture, as history tells us, has always been fundamental in the development and expansion of human civilization, and it still is to this very day. It allows us to evolve and grow as a species. Agriculture is sometimes thought of just farming, but in fact is much more than that. It's a lot complexer. It combines several disciplines working cohesively to impact the lives of all of us, each and every day. So, with agriculture, the very second question will be what farmers have to deal with. What is their job? So, farmers have a very challenging job. Not only do they have to be well versed in farming as it is their main discipline, they also need knowledge in business, math, chemistry, and so on. We recognized this problem and we found potential in developing multiple tools, such as is this one that we will be talking about today, that will help farmers solve many of their problems and make their jobs more efficient, well structured, and overall easier, which will have a major impact on our economy's growth, bringing an overall growth to our country. I would like to take a moment and talk about and explain a bit better what is EAGRO. EAGRO is an online web platform that we are currently developing. There are, in fact, multiple organizations worldwide tackling with the same issues and developing projects with the goal to digitalize agriculture. Our main goal is to achieve a singular platform that will provide multiple tools and services to our users. In this presentation, I'll be showcasing the development of one of those tools that provides information to our users on the state and placement of weed in a section of land that will, as I will explain later on, help them in the process, in their farming process. Weed control. As we did our research of areas that require digitalization, we found that weed control is one of the most challenging issues when dealing with any type of farming. As some of you may know, weed is somewhat of a pest that competes and overpowers other plants in the struggle for nutrition, water, and sunlight. Over the years, there have been many tactics that were developed in this everlasting battle against weed. We have some manual removal, that is the most basic and oldest one, where a person manually tries to find the weed and remove it. It is mainly used on smaller lands for its inefficiency and time consuming. It's very time consuming. The second method is mechanical tilling that can remove weeds around croplands at various points in the growing process. And this method is mostly used in larger land areas. It's not as precise in manual removing, but it is a lot faster. But it still doesn't help us in the manual detection of weed, which is the biggest problem. We have, of course, herbicides, one of the easiest and fastest, but the problem with herbicides is the most harmful method of them all. Herbicides kill certain targets while leaving desired crops relatively unharmed, but still harmed. So there are different methods of removing weed, but the commonality between all of them is time, finding the weed. It's the biggest problem is discovering it in time, for weed grows very fast and can do a lot of damage to the crop before farmers even have a chance to remove it. Okay, so just a second. In the making of our tool, we used a convolutional neural network with positive and negative images, meaning we trained our algorithm to see the positive images, the images that contain weed in them, and the negative images, the images that do not contain weed in them, and we trained the algorithm to search through the image and see if there is or there is not weed, which will give us feedback, which will give us information and feedback about the state of the land. So the first part is the images will be gathered by unmanned aerial vehicles. The unmanned aerial vehicles, they're also better known as drones. Drones are the main two parts of the drone. So let me first talk about that. The main two parts of the drone, we have the body of the drone with the mounted camera on it, and we have the control system, which is usually in the front part of the drone. The drone being made of light materials, it has a reduced weight and increased maneuverability, which will drastically change the weed detection process and time and efforts. So of course drones come in a lot of different sizes and functions. We have the largest of them being the military Predator drones. We have a lot smaller and commercialized drones that have been used in a couple of years on a global level in photography and videography. The type of drones we will be using are called VTOL drones, that meaning vertical takeoff and landing. So they can take off, fly, hover, and land vertically. These are also the smallest drones on the market. So these type of drones have a wide range of tasks in logistics, patrolling areas, and which will be used going through large land areas taking images. And there also been drones, other types of in the other fields of agriculture, used for crop counting as an example, or crop monitoring, soil assessment, and which will be weed detection. So drones are already used in agriculture. We will be using, as I said, the VTOL drones for their portability and precision. They will be mounted with lightweight, adaptable multispectral cameras, which will be featuring RGB, red, green, and blue, and infrared sensors. And detecting weed in this manner will dramatically increase the efficiency, and overall it will make a lot better alternative to the manual checking, since drones are able to cover large areas of land in a more precise and less time-consuming way. So we fly the drones, take the images, and after the photos are taken by the drone, they will be uploaded, compared, and analyzed by our already taught algorithms. After this process is finished, we would get an output of data which would pinpoint weed in a selected ant area. I can talk a little bit about the dataset that we used and how we trained our algorithms. So, just a second. The dataset that we used, here it is, contains 12 different species. There are two types I already mentioned. We had the positive, negative, with weed and without the weed images. We have used the species we used are two types of blackgrass and common chickweed. The training dataset we used contains about 1,500 images, from which 770 are negative with the no weed images, and 730 are positive images with weed. The validation set contains 575 images, from which 203 are negative and 186 are positive. I can show you a photo of those images. So the photo on the left is an image that we have used that does not contain weed, and the photo on the right is an image that contains. give you a model description. So we first formatted the images into appropriately pre-processed floating point tensors before feeding it to the network. We rescaled them from 0, they were from 0 to 255, we rescaled them to 0 and 1. Since we have a relatively small number of training examples, to avoid the risks of overfitting, in this study we apply free convolutional models, which contain convolution, ReLU, and max polling, a max polling layer. Okay, so they are the free free convolution. So the first convolution we have 16 filters, the second one 32, and the third 64. In the first convolution that extracts 16 filters, they are 3 by 3, and the convolution is followed by max polling layer with a 2 by 2 window. That is the same for all 3 convolutions. So since we had, as I already said, since we had a binary classification problem, we trained our model with the binary cross entropy loss, and the activation function is sigmoid. Let me show the image here. This, can I zoom it? Okay, so in this image, it represents the result when one sample gets processed by every single layer of our network, as we can see here. Okay, the simulation results show that we achieve an around 89% accuracy, which is pretty good. And it shows also that the training accuracy is increasing, as we can see on the graphs here on the right. Maybe I can zoom them in. This is the first, the training and validation accuracy, and the second, the training and validation loss. So we have accuracy is increasing linearly over time, whereas validation accuracy is a little bit worse in the training process. So the training accuracy is linear, and is the image on the top, and the bottom image, it gets the validation accuracies gets a bit worse in our training process. And as I went through the whole process of obtaining our idea, first how we got to it, the research on the world market, and how we take the images, and then the algorithms that were created and trained, the weed detection tool demonstrates the viability of combining user information. So the photos that we have taken of the land, the information that we have gathered, with our already trained algorithms, and they combine in creating data that can be used for easing the struggle with weed. So as I mentioned already, detecting weed, it's not only a very hard job, it has the biggest problem, time, because weed is very fast, and if left, it can grow and destroy all of the crops. It's this way it results in a simpler and improved agricultural system. It shows that with this tool we can make farmers already very hard jobs a lot easier and a lot more efficient. As I have written here, our research shows a large need for this improvement. This is one of the most important fields of human society. And we're planning to continue our work in digitalizing agriculture by adding more tools similar to this one, and services as well that follow global trends and needs of our customers. I would like to answer 2 questions that were asked. Can you list some of the biggest challenges you had with the still image analysis for the mentioned problem, and can you indicate the complexity of system regarding processing power required for certain... Okay, so for the request required for the suggested approach. As I already said, I can combine the answer. Our biggest problem, the biggest problem we had will be the small data set of images that were used, and the thing that we will need and plan for our image data set that plan to build with the drones that take the images. We plan to have a batch size of 32 and 1,000 iterations, and our training will be run on NVIDIA Titan XP GPU. We plan to expand the training of our algorithms by adding more examples with different species and more images that will be have been taken by drones, and training the algorithm. So afterwards, when we actually take the drones and we fly them and we take the images, when we process it through the algorithm, it will give us a very precise result, giving us information that is needed, and it will give our customers, the farmers, the people that use our systems, will give them an overall great tool, which they can use all year round, creating information that will help them in the process of removing the weed. Thank you very much for listening.